Hey everyone, welcome to this weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast for the week of July 26th through August 1st of 2021. All right, so this week, not a whole lot going on astrologically. There are a couple important events taking place around Thursday and Sunday. So Thursday, Mars, the planet of assertion and initiative, is going to be opposite expansive Jupiter. So midweek, we could be feeling a bit maybe confident, maybe optimistic, and willing to expand our horizons. So really good to get into that adventurousness and free-spirited nature to further develop things in our life. And I think this week is good to further develop things because we did have a full moon last week around Friday, which is usually a status check part of the lunar month, the halfway point of the lunar month, where it's good to make some shifts and changes. So if there was a new perspective you had over the weekend or some things you wanted to further develop in your life, it could be a great week to do that. And I think around Thursday, that fiery nature of Mars and expansive Jupiter can really help us further develop these things. Now on Sunday, Mercury will be conjoining the Sun. So to end off the week, I think it's great for seeing that we can channel some of our mind in constructive ways. Can be a little bit of buzzing energy, very busy sometimes with the mind or scattered. But if there is anything we can do to implement that constructively, whether through journaling, writing, reading, learning, I think is great. And that conjunction will be opposite up to Saturn. So anything that does require discipline with our minds or discipline with our communications, I think is a great way of working with that weekend energy. All right, so let's go and take a look at this as well as where all the planets are coming into this week in more detail when we return. Alrighty, so here's the sky for this week. We're going to look at this for each day of the week, starting first with Monday, July 26th. And as you can see here, we are using the visible sky on this channel called True Sidereal Astrology, but it does change the signs from mainstream astrology. A good example of this is that right now in the sky, you will see the Sun and Mercury in Cancer, but in mainstream astrology, they are saying it's in Leo. So this is definitely different. The signs do change. If you are new to the channel, definitely check out that link down below for more information. All right, so let's do a bit of a recap and see where everything is coming into this week. As you can see here, there's not a whole lot of major aspects. Of course, the Mars opposite Jupiter is important, but it's really concentrated around that one aspect. And then we do have the week closing off with that Sun conjunct Mercury opposite up to Saturn. So yeah, we'll be placing more of an emphasis on the actual placements. So let's take a look at where everything is and will be this week. So starting with the Sun and Mercury, they are in protective Cancer. I think it is a great week, as it has been, to continue to focus on how we can create a protective environment for ourselves, to care for ourselves. This could be through connecting to our feelings, our emotions, the past, maybe physically, our bodies, taking care of our bodies, maybe spending time at home or more focused on family or personal life. It is all about creating that protective environment for ourselves and others and getting into more of that caring, nurturing side of ourself, again, for ourselves and others. So it is water energy, it is protective, and it is about connecting to our roots and our emotions and the fundamentals of life. Now, there is fiery energy. However, Mars and Venus are in Leo, and so this has a lot to do with our interpersonal relationships at the moment. We are valuing Leo energy. Leo is about self-expression. It is about fun. It's our interests, our hobbies, the things we love in life, right? So a great way of connecting right now because we are enjoying this energy. So a great way of connecting to life and in our relationships in the context of this self-expression. Mars is also helping us take action and initiative in this way to do things that are more about our passion and again, what we love, and putting action towards those kinds of things. So definitely this week is a mix between water and fire. So the protective qualities and emotional qualities of Cancer, and then the expressive and passionate values and developments with Leo. All right, so let's go and take a look at the lunar placement because the moon will be playing a large role on the day-to-day since we don't have any or not that many major aspects going on. So coming into the week, the moon will be in Aquarius both Monday and Tuesday, and Aquarius is all about that future vision. And so I think those 2 days is great for focusing on the future. This could be our own future aspirations, our own future ideals, but also very much for the collective or humanity. So, or even friends and groups, anything that is about contributing to the future, either personally or interpersonally or collectively, I think is a great way of working with this week. And this week really is great for implementation because we are in the what's called disseminating phase of the cycle, which means that we just had that full moon last Friday. It was right in between Sagittarius and Capricorn. And so it was very much a status check, and especially in the context of sort of future energy, these top of the chart constellations very much deal with the future. So any insights from Friday where it was about maybe making some empowering changes? It was close to Pluto, making some empowering changes for anything we're inspired about in the future, anything we can be open-minded or optimistic about, as well as put in the work, right? The Capricorn energy over the weekend was good to see how things do take time, and we can cultivate more of that patience and perseverance to implement things. So in this disseminating phase, it's great to implement, right? And any shifts of insight since Friday could be good to further develop here this week, and we'll likely have a lot of support to do that as the sun and moon will be in a trine. And the trine is really taking place once we do get to the late Tuesday all the way through Friday time period, which is the moon in watery Pisces. So for pretty much the bulk of the week, again, from late Tuesday through Friday, it is a great time of finding some healthy ways of finding peace in life. For tranquility, Pisces is all about connecting to our soul, right, in the context of what's important to us on a spiritual level in life. How can we find healthy ways of finding peace, connect to things like not only our feelings, but our intuition, our creative imagination, right? This kind of watery, oceanic type of energy, really good to cultivate. So we'll still be in the heightened sort of time period of the lunar month, so it will be good to implement this kind of stuff. So while going about our routines, having that presence, more of that beingness, maybe getting a little bit of rest and sleep, but incorporating things like intuition, creative imagination, and what's important to us on a soul level with the bulk of the week, with the moon in Pisces. Now, while the moon's in Pisces on this Thursday time period, it's a very different energy. So it will be a combination of finding more receptivity, going more with the flow. However, Mars opposite Jupiter is very much fire energy. Both Mars and Jupiter are fire planets. And so Mars is all about our needs and taking action and initiative, and Jupiter is all about expansion, possibilities, inspiration, right? And can oftentimes boost that Mars energy of confidence and assertiveness. So it is great midweek for anything that does involve this, anything that does involve or requires an open mind or some confidence or some initiative, right? And we do want to stay balanced with this, of course. Again, especially with oppositions, Jupiter can sometimes blow things out of proportion. So we want to make sure we're not being overly optimistic or overly confident about things. So with that conscious awareness, saying that there is certainly an opportunity to implement some of that fire, to expand our own horizons, and some of that adventurousness, and listen to that spirit for life. And this can be a very constructive way of working with it. Sometimes oppositions can come through in relationships because it holds the frequency of the 7th house, the opposite energy. And so it could be good to maybe do some of these things with others, just in general. Maybe some adventurousness, maybe discussing philosophies, more abstract things in life, maybe having a good discussion about the meaning of life and this kind of stuff. Could also be very constructive with that opposition. So definitely the mixed energy, our feelings are more in the Pisces realm, the emotional, the spiritual, but there is certainly this fire energy to be cultivated as well. All right, and then once we do get to the weekend, particularly Saturday and Sunday, the moon will go into initiating Aries, and so that is adding to more of the fire kind of energy actually. and it'll be likely a lot of themes around taking that initiative. So pretty much this whole week does have that fire element to it, especially with Venus and Mars and Leo. But again, it is combined with that water. So still listening to our soul, still getting plenty of peace or alone time, having more receptivity while taking action and implementing things. But yeah, Saturday, Sunday, great for that initiative. We'll probably notice some themes around that as well. So the week does end here with Mercury in his halfway point of his sort of retrograde. He is direct right now, but his cycle with the sun. And this is usually somewhat of a challenging energy because, if we were to look up at the sky, we wouldn't see Mercury. Mercury would be blotted out by the sun. And so that usually tends to put things like our mind and our communications a little bit more unconsciously, right? And so this can manifest in different ways. It can be too much or not enough of the thoughts, the thinking, the practical thoughts in our life or just in our personality. So it is good to bring some extra conscious attention to that. Intentionally, maybe write some things down, do some journaling, being intentional with our communications. This can help balance it out, which can be this combust energy, this fiery energy. Sometimes a lot of even, like I said, too much of the thoughts and communications because there's a lot of maybe passion around that with the sun, or not enough because it's more unconscious. So by bringing that awareness to the mind and to our communication process, it can keep things nice and balanced here. But usually with this, it can be some new insights. Mercury is said to be the sort of deliverer of information, right? In the Greek mythology, he was always sharing information, sharing things, trading, exchanging things. So this is in the context of sometimes going into the unconscious realm to extract information. And so we can come up with insights and new learnings and new understandings. And again, bringing that extra consciousness awareness to that can really help facilitate this new beginning with perhaps some new perspective on things and maybe new information coming out, or what can come out through that more conscious approach to Mercury things. And this conjunction will be opposite up to Saturn. So Saturn reminds us, of course, that it is good to be disciplined. And so if there is anything that you can do to challenge yourself with discipline, to write, to learn, to study, to communicate, perhaps, this could be very good. And staying nice and grounded with that. And, with all oppositions, again, it can do a little bit of a pendulum swing. So if we are seeing things very densely, very realistically around this Sunday time period, it's good to, not see things too densely to where they become, restrictive or constrained, but to look at things realistically. And then from there, put in that work or that patience or that perseverance that we can channel our mind into, and just implement that in general with the sun opposite Saturn, just implementing balanced patience, perseverance, and discipline in our lives could be very constructive. All right, so that is the week in a nutshell. Most important thing I would say is implementing insights from last weekend's full moon. These first couple days, great for a bit of that vision with Aquarius. The bulk of the week is going to be watery Pisces, connecting to what's important on a soul level while implementing this fire energy, this boost to that fiery side of ourself with Mars opposite Jupiter. And then the weekend still with some of that fire because the moon will be in Aries, but then it does get some of that earth energy of Saturn, of healthfully constraining things so that we can do things constructively with our mind and communications and our self-expression. It's nice and constructive there. Could be good with Saturn. All right, so everyone have a fantastic week. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click this the like button down below if you're watching this on YouTube. And I am starting to release these weekly videos a few days earlier, and it is for MTZ insiders. So those that are signed up for the newsletter, and it's absolutely free. All of you can sign up. There's a link down below. But yeah, insiders will start to receive these videos a few days earlier for the weekly. So if you're not yet signed up, definitely check out the link down below. But have a great week, everyone. Thank you again, and I'll see you all next time for the next astrology forecast. Take care.